this core strengthening that we've been looking at, it's really, really important to keep movement as well. So if you're doing, I don't know, pelvic floor exercises, crunches, which I don't really agree with as a functional thing, but some people do. What you need to be thinking about is being able to move within what you're doing, and that's really, really important. And by holding yourself, by keeping yourself stiff or squeezing or gripping, that's just going to create stiffness within the body, and that's obviously something we don't want to do. So movement in all directions is really, really important. So for this exercise, we're going to come down onto the floor, onto hands and knees, and it's really noticing how you feel your core strength, your abdominals working. So we're not doing weights or squats or anything like that. So if you'd like to come down onto all fours, so any way you'd like to, that's it. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and from here just let your tummy drop down towards the floor, and then round up through the back and let the tummy drop towards the floor. So I must just say though, before we go any further, this exercise is a fabulous exercise as well if you're postnatal, but you shouldn't really do it before 6 weeks after giving birth. So this exercise you can do from 6 weeks onwards, but from birth to 6 weeks, then I don't want you to do this. But if you've already had your baby, or you don't even have to have had a baby, you can be any age. So come onto all fours, just allow the belly to drop towards the floor, and then just allow the back to arch towards the ceiling, and then drop towards the floor, and then arch. So what I'd like you to do is to come in the middle between those 2 points. So we're not letting the belly drop and we're not arching up, so a sort of midway point between the 2 points. So from here, just take your in-breath, and I say just, but what I'd like you to do is blow out the candles on your birthday cake. So, and then breathe in again. So with this breath, as you breathe in through the nose or through the mouth, I want you to breathe out through pursed lips. And as you breathe out, I want you to just notice how your core abdominals connect and engage and lift up through doing your breath. Now they're having to work quite hard because obviously we're facing the floor and you're working against gravity as well. So as you breathe in and then breathe out. And breathe in. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to add a cat stretch. So as you breathe out, I want you to start to tuck your tailbone under and then work through the spine as you work all the way up and drop the head last, and then release the spine. So you've got to really think about articulation through the spine, through the back, and then bringing the head up last. So it's a very subtle movement, and you might think, well, this is not necessarily what you consider to be a core strengthening exercise, but the subtle small things all build up so that when you do sit-ups or planks or squats or something, then you are actually engaging your core as well, because what can happen is that we grip through the rib cage and that bears down on the pelvic floor, which is no good for our core strength. And if we want to be strong in our core, then we need to almost work from the bottom up, but we need to work with everything in unison, everything together. And this exercise is really, really a golden exercise for that. So all fours then, find your midway point with your back, breathe in to prepare, and then start to breathe out. So as you breathe out, sort of 30, 40, 50 candles, I want you to start tucking the bottom underneath you and really visualize that you're working, articulating vertebrae by vertebrae, sequentially up the spine, and then as you breathe in, lengthening through the spine. That's it, and breathe out. So really focus on tucking your tailbone under. As you start to tuck the tailbone under, at this point it's very easy to just round the back, but I want you to carry on moving. So you might need to move your weight forwards in order to get the articulation through the rib part of your body. Now the ribs don't move that much, obviously, because they're quite stiff because of the ribs, but it's just that whole area that we're wanting to move through. So again, let's do 2 more of these. So all 4s here, and as you breathe out, start to tuck the tailbone under, maybe shift the weight forwards a bit so that you can really, so about here you really feel the core, you really feel your pelvic floor muscles lift up through into the body particularly, and you'll notice as well how all the other muscles are engaging, but because you're moving you're not being stiff with the movement. And then as you breathe in, release the tailbone and lengthen, and 1 more. So as you breathe out, shift the weight forwards a little bit, keep tucking under sequentially, feel the pelvic floor lift up, and then as you breathe in, that's it, and lift and lengthen the neck. So there we are. A very subtle move, a very subtle technique, very easy to just go so quickly through and not necessarily feel the benefits. And then when you stand up, you'll probably feel, well, I know that I feel that my core muscles have sort of lifted up and engaged within me. So I'm feeling that my pelvic floor particularly is not as heavy this morning. So there we are. Really, really important, very subtle. Work with it. If you've got any questions at all about doing that exercise, then please leave a comment below and I will get back to you. Or you can send me a private message, I don't know, through WhatsApp, Messenger. You can go to my Facebook page, or you could go to my website and send me an email or something. So yeah, I'm here to help. Well done, well done, well done. Brilliant.